You know I'm taking this content game seriously because I had to get the company to buy me an iPad. I'm just struggling in editing my YouTube videos on my phone. I've got an iPhone 17 Pro Max, but today I released 2 episodes on YouTube and my phone basically overheated. And I realized that by editing on my phone, just downloading from CapCut, I can't use my phone for 45 minutes. It takes that long to download it. So it takes me out of action from work. Speaking of work, I'm on the end, today's Wednesday, 4:41 p.m. I was in the office from 7 a.m. till 3:45, about an hour ago. And to be honest, if I was to rate my effort towards my 20K target, I'd give it a 3. I only really put in the effort towards the end in the last couple of hours because I had all these excuses of other things I had to do, right? Work related, but not target related. And now I have 2 days to chase this target down. Very daunting, but I'm used to it. I grew up in sales. Chasing targets was part of what we did at the end of the month. And I need the pressure that's here. I need to see what I've made out of. Currently we're sitting on $1,600 for that 20K target, so 18,400 to go. Where is that possibly going to come from, right? I have faith in myself. I have faith in God. I have faith in my abilities and my pipeline. And yes, right now it's the results looking dim, but this is where you truly see what you're made out of. Do I just give up? Do I work harder? Do I work smarter? It needs a mixture of both. It really shows me and will show me over the next 2 days, especially documenting it, what I'm made out of. We generated 1 client so far with an upsell, right, from a client that hasn't spent much money with us in a very long time. We found the way to sell them a product, and that product was already in the pipeline. It was an increase of their management of their strategy, right? And I was able to think of that. Now I've got to be more creative. The good news is if I produce $18,400 worth of billing, I'm producing probably $100,000 worth of value for clients. So it's in my best intention and my client's best intention to hit that target. Are you sick, mate? Your brother.
Mum said I might not be going to school.
Such a hard life.
Why did you get picked up?
Because I was sneezing all around and I couldn't stop sneezing. I cried twice.
You cried. Why did you cry?
Because I'm sneezing.
Look how sick this... Sorry, my son's a bit loud. Look how quick I can create a workflow on our CRM. Look at this. I'm pasting a prompt from my agent, my marketing agent on Claude. I paste a prompt based on the scope of work that we have for this client. It's now reading that prompt and it's building me a workflow. Watch this. This is live, by the way. It's a pretty big workflow. There's like multiple audiences. I would say this would take me an hour or 2 to build out if I was building this out myself. Now you've got to connect all the ads manager accounts and have it already connected on the CRM. But watch this. If you actually see in the bottom left here, let me just zoom in. It's reading what it's happening. There you go. It's telling you what's going on. Are you farting?
No.
Shh. Look at that. Done. Workflow done. Wow. Come on. Crazy. Oh man, there's not many things that beats that first sip of coffee in the morning. Today's Thursday. I am on the 4th day of this 20K target, and currently I've only collected $1,600 so far for the week. There is an insurmountable task, or what it seems like a challenge that needs to be faced right now. And what is the first thing I did this morning? I prayed. I prayed when I was at home, and when I got in the office, I prayed. I spent time with God to speak into my life. Because if I truly believe He is a CEO of our company, He's not a physical CEO, He's not someone I can go into their office. And this is where you have to understand what I'm saying. And I'm starting to understand what I'm doing. By seeking Him, the first thing this morning, even though I'm so behind on target, I was able to have a moment with God where He could speak to me, and He revealed to me so many things I needed to hear. He revealed to me the answers that I'm searching for. And it's not always been like that. It's been only very recently that I can hear God's voice in a way that the moment I close my eyes, I hear my son, my faithful servant, and I know it's His voice. And from there, He shows me exactly what I needed to do during the day. He showed me these things that I would have not been able to even think of. The answers that I'm seeking today. Previously, I would walk into the office and go day by day, just, being the CEO, being the boss, not accountable to anyone. Now I'm accountable to someone. And I can sit down like I would if there was a CEO in the company physically. Instead, I sit down in stillness and let Him speak to me. And He revealed the wonderful and great things that He has planned for me. I have 48 hours to find this target. My pipeline, I made a phone call yesterday, which was I would say about a $16,000 project, close to maybe a bit more than $16,000. Unfortunately, the project's not ready. He still needs a couple more weeks. That was going to be my answer. Did I push him for the sake of my target? Yes, I have a target. Yes, this client's willing to spend $16,000, but did I push him just for the sake of my target and the end of the month target? No. I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. I understand the buyer needs time to digest and budget their project they're working with me. Old me, young me, would have handled the objection and would have done everything I possibly could to get them to coerce them into buying that product or that project then and there. And yes, I probably have that ability. I'm not going to disagree. I have that ability to turn those no's into yeses, those maybes into now. But what I've learned over time, by me forcing people into those decisions, as opposed to guiding them and walking them through those decisions, the urgency, the mindset, the trust is so different to the person that I walk with, and I guide them to the answer when they're ready. I've been working with this particular client, or this potential client, I would say for about 2.5 months. 2.5 months that I've been working from the proposal, the idea and the challenge that we're trying, and it's a pretty big thing we're doing, to identifying the budget. It's been 2.5 months. There's been constant, I think yesterday would have been my 6th or 7th follow-up. So I'm nearly at the 8th follow-up. And do you know when the 8th follow-up is? Next Friday, I'm taking him out for lunch. That's one of my, not last hurrahs, but I leave that up my sleeve. Because if I can take him out of his space, take him out for lunch. If you're watching this, Tony, I'm sorry. I can then get a real answer from him, an understanding of where he is. And then from there, I can plan more appropriately on how I can help him. Again, old me would have just pushed, especially with this target. And I wish I could have got the 16 grand in, because we need that target this month. But that is not the way. It's not the way God wants me to work. It's not the way that I'm going to build a kingdom business. It's not the way that MagCo will scale. I need to continue to sow before I reap the rewards, and there's still more work to be done. 2 more days. 2 more days. It is now 11:30 a.m. and just a quick update. I was working with my Claude agent, one of my Claude agents, which is a CFO agent that I created to help me analyze the business financially. And we were working through some accounting this morning regarding July and what's happened in July. And it's so amazing, Claude, right? And this particular agent was just highlighting certain clients that I have that are causing us a bit of time, but their actual billing isn't that high. Now, one client in particular that it pointed out was a client primed for us to upsell. The reason why was because it was looking at all the billing, and the billing hadn't changed for a long time. Like, nothing was offered to that client. Now, this client of mine has been a client of mine for over a year. We took over their website and their hosting from a different agency that they struggled with a year ago. I had a quick meeting with them. I went over their website and what's currently been happening in a whole year, and we realized that the website was really due for a revamp. Now, my fault for not booking a time with this client over the last 3 to 6 months, and we agreed on a revamp of that site, totaling $3,000. So now I've been able to basically bill a new project for $3,000 that brings our total for the week at $4,600. So we only need now $15,400. So thankfully to my Claude agent, which is what I'm using, and again it was my CFO agent, not even my marketing one, allowed me to analyze these clients, and it pointed out this client's billing has been the same for a long time. And there's a list of them. There's more clients that I have to review, and there's been no change in their billing, as in, like, there's no new transactions. It's just a constant billing that they've had, which likely means no activity. Now, we're building a dashboard for MagCo internally that I'm going to talk to Croydon about, because I think this will really help me analyze our client lists and those that have been inactive or those that we have not been active with new billing, which means that we've not offered them anything new. 1 day and a half to go. Let's go. I woke up today basically saying that I beat this virus or sickness trying to overcome my body. I was like, I got this. In 2 days, I beat it. You know, mentally beat it, went to the sauna. My wife, unfortunately, is still so ill. My sons fell ill yesterday, had to finish school early. And this morning I woke up, I was like, oh, I beat it. I'm great. And there was a meeting that I pushed back on Tuesday because it was a presentation of a new strategy in the app, and I pushed it back to today. And half an hour prior to that meeting, my body crashed. It was crazy. Just after a win of generating $3,000 in this target, somehow after that phone call, my body just crashed. And I had half an hour to prepare. And I was like, I can't move this meeting again. I've just moved it. I can't give them this much notice. I've got to find a way. I smashed back a whole lemsip, if you know what lemsip is. Sneezed basically so many times, smashed back some lozenges, and in that meeting, thankfully, adrenaline kicked in, and I was able to finish my presentation in like 45 minutes, and the clients were really happy. Really, really stoked, really, really happy. But man, I crashed. So here I am, I've driven to the sauna, I went to the gym, didn't do anything, failed horribly, thinking the gym would make me feel better, did not make me feel better. And now I've driven to the sauna, waiting for it to open, to try sweat this out for the 3rd time this week. Come on! There's still $14,000 to go in the target. What is it? So at 15,400 to go. And there's a meeting that I have after this. That is a $8,000 meeting. That if I can just land that meeting, that brings the target much more down prior to tomorrow, and then it's just the final countdown tomorrow.